The next question is, in Java, who looks for unused objects and reclaims the memory? Options are class variable, function, polymorphism, garbage collector. Let's go to page number 170 to find out the correct answer. Okay, let's read this line. In Java, when objects are no more needed, the memory is claimed back. The memory is claimed back for reuse. Java has a garbage collector. Java has a garbage collector that looks for unused objects and reclaims the memory that those objects are using. We do not need to do any explicit freeing of memory. So garbage collector takes care of these things. So the correct answer is option D, garbage collector. Our next question is, what is the associativity of dot operator which is used to access instance variable? Options are lower to upper, upper to lower, left to right, right to left. So before answering this question, let's understand what this associativity means. So here you can see the first one is precedence. Precedence refers to the order. Precedence refers to the order in which operations are performed in a mathematical expression. Some operations are stronger or more important than others, so they are done first. For example, in math, multiplication and division are done before addition and subtraction. This is because multiplication has higher precedence than addition. So this is precedence. Precedence simply means order. Okay? Let's consider this expression 3 plus 2 into 5. Now, how will you solve it? Will you do it 3 plus 2, 5, 5 into 5 is equals to 25? No, it's wrong. Because we have to follow the rule board mass. So according to board mass, first division, then multiplication, then addition, then subtraction. So this is rule. So first you do the multiplication because multiplication has a higher precedence. So 2 into 5 is equals to 10. And then you do the addition, 3 plus 10, 13. So the final result of this expression would be 13. So this is precedence. Now let's understand associativity. Associativity tells the direction in which we solve operations when two or more operators of the same precedence appear in an expression. It can be either left to right or right to left. Let's see an example. Here you can see an expression is written 4 minus 2 plus 3. Now, how do we solve it? Because plus and minus has same precedence. Now the confusion is, do I solve 2 plus 3 first or 4 minus 2 first? So here the associativity comes into play. So associativity says when you have more than one operators with same precedence, then you solve it from left to right. Okay, both subtraction, minus and addition have the same precedence. So we do it from left to right. So first we will solve 4 minus 2. It will result us into 2. And then we'll add 2 into 3. So 2 plus 3 will be 5. So the result of this expression 4 minus 2 plus 3 will be 5. Alright. So here we learned two different things. One is precedence and associativity. So precedence decides which operation happens first. Okay? Which operation happens first. Whether we solve multiplication first or addition first. So this problem is solved by precedence. Next one is associativity. Associativity tells us which direction to solve the operations when two have the same precedence. So generally we solve it from left to right. Okay. There are also some operators which are solved right to left, but we'll discuss those operators in some other video. Okay, let's see what is the question. The question is, what is the associativity of dot operator which is used to access instance variable? So here they are talking about instance variables. So these are the instance variables. These brand, model, battery capacity. See, these are called properties, attributes, and now we have one more name, and these are called instance variables. Okay. So in order to access these instance variables, we have written something like this: phone1 dot brand. So we are reading it from left to right. So we are talking about which brand? So phone 1's brand. Here we are asking for phone 2 brand. So we are going from left to right. So the question, what is the associativity of dot operator? It's left to right. The correct answer is option C, left to right. Let's see the next question. The next question is, from the following, which variable is defined with in class, outside any method, with the static keyword in Java? Okay, within a class, outside any method, and with the static keyword. Instance options are instance variable, local variable, class variable, all the given options. So let's first quickly understand how many types of variables are available in Java. Types of variables in Java. First one is local variable. Let me give you a real world example. Imagine you are in a kitchen making a sandwich. Okay? You have a plate. Let's call it a local object. You have a plate that you are using to make the sandwich. The plate is only used when you are working on the sandwich, and when you are done, you put it away. Okay? Let's understand programming connection. In programming, a local variable is something that is used only inside a specific block of code, like inside a method. Once the method is done running, the local variable goes away. It's like the plate you use while making the sandwich and put away afterward. So this is local variable. Okay? Let me give you an example. Okay, here you can see we have a class called local variable, and this class ends here. Inside this class we have a method make sandwich, and then we have our main method. Okay, so we can define more than one methods in one class, but remember that this main class is the entry point for any Java program. This main method is like a controller, is like a manager. This controls everything. Okay. So inside main method we are calling make sandwich. This is a function and we are calling it. So what will happen when you call this make sandwich function? This will go right here inside this function. This is the block of this function. Okay. Inside this function we have a variable called bread. This is data type simply. Okay. Remember in chapter 7 we discussed about the data types. We have 8 different data types. Okay. So this is data type. Name of the variable is bread. The value of bread is wheat. And bread is a local variable because it is defined inside a method. It is accessible only in this scope. After this block it is not accessible. I'll show it to you. And after that line we have a system.out.println. So what is the use of this function? This function simply prints whatever you want to print on a screen. So here making this is written in double inverted comma, so this will get printed as it is. Then what will be the value of bread? It will be wheat. So making a wheat sandwich, this will be the output. Okay, let me show you the output. Here you can see making a wheat sandwich. Now, as I told you that this bread is accessible only within this curly brackets or this block. What if I try to access it in our main method? Let me compile it. Okay, here you can see we have got an error in this line. So the system is not able to find this bread variable because it is not accessible. It is only accessible between these curly brackets or within this block, right? So this is local variable. So local variables are declared inside a method, constructor or block. Local variables are only accessible within that block or method. These are not stored in the heap memory, they exist in stack memory and are deleted once the method execution ends. And local variables must be initialized before use because Java does not provide a default value for local variables. So these are important points for your exam point of view. So I would suggest you either you take a screenshot or just write it down in your notebook. Let's see the next one. The next one is instance variable. We have already discussed about instance variable, but still let's understand it quickly. So if we are talking about instance variable, think of a backpack. Each student has their own backpack with items inside like books, pencils, and notebooks. These items belong to that specific student. Okay, these items belong to that specific student and can be different from what is in someone else's backpack. I'll show you an example. Wait. Let's understand the programming connection. In programming, an instance variable is a variable that belongs to a specific object, like a student's backpack. Each object can have its own values for these variables and they remain with that object even after a method is finished. Okay, let me explain you what these lines are saying. Remember, I have shown you an example here. So this is our class. We have two different objects, P1 and P2. So P1 also has all these data members. P2 also has all these data members. Okay, but the value of these variables or data members or properties or attributes, you can say anything. So value of these properties are different for P1 and value of these properties are different for P2, right? So these are the instance variables. Okay, each object can have its own values for these variables. We have seen it right now. And they remain with that object even after a method is finished. Let me show you an example. As you can see, we have a class backpack. This class starts here and ends here. In this class, we have only one variable. It's pencil. Okay, this is an instance variable of backpack class. Now we have a main method. Inside main method, we have two different objects, my backpack 1 and my backpack 2. Remember, for class person, we have created two objects P1 and P2 exactly like that. We have two objects right here, my backpack 1 and my backpack 2. Here new keyword is used to assign memory, as we all know, and this backpack is a constructor. Okay. Now here you can see my backpack 1 dot pencil equals to blue. My backpack 2 dot pencil equals to black. So the color of pencil for my backpack 1 object is blue and the color of pencil for my backpack 2 is black. Alright. This is exactly like this. Let me show it to you again. If I am asking what is the value of P1 dot age, it's 31. And what is the value of P2 dot age? It's 28. Alright. So this is an example of instance variables. Instance variables are declared inside a class but outside any method. So this is inside a class and it's outside any method. Each object gets its own copy of instance variable Every object has its own copy of instance variables. Third, instance variables are stored in heap memory. Okay, and the last one is instance variables are automatically initialized with default values. In chapter number 7, we have discussed about the default values for 8 different data types. Okay, now let's see the last one. Okay, the last one is class variable, or you can say static variables. In real world, imagine you are in a school where every student needs a student ID card. There is only one student ID card design, okay, that everyone gets. So the design is shared by all students. Let's understand programming connection. A class variable is a variable that is shared by all objects of class. It's like the ID card design, it doesn't change from student to student. Every student uses the same design. Okay? So let's quickly understand what is the key difference between these variables. Local variables are like tools you use for a specific task and disappear once the task is over. Instance variables are like personal items in your backpack, unique to you, and every object can have its own set. Class variables are shared among all instances, like a school-wide ID card design. Everyone has the same one. So class variables are shared by each and every object you will create. Okay? So here you can see we have a class student, and here I have used static keyword. Name of the variable is school name, value is Greenwood School, and then we have two more variables, name and standard, and as we all know, these are instance variables. And this, remember what is this? This is our constructor. How will you identify a constructor? The name of the constructor will be same as the name of the class. Okay, what is the use of constructor? It initializes the variables. And then we have a method, display student data. Inside this method, we are simply printing the name of the student and the school name. Then we have another class variable. Inside this, we have our main method. Here we have created two objects, S1, S2. The name of the S1 is Ram and the standard is 5. The name of the student S2 is Shyam and the age is 8. Okay. Here you can see we have not specified the name of the school, but when we are trying to display the student data with S1 object, it will simply go here in this function and it will print student name is name. Now, which student's name will be printed? S1 or S2? Always remember, you are calling this function with S1. So, S1.name will get printed. Okay, so Ram. Student name is Ram. And then S1.standard, it's 5. S1.school name. Here we have not specified any school name at all. But as we have studied that this class variable is shared by all the objects you will create. So this school name is already being shared with S1 and S2. So he is in 5th grade at this school, Greenwood School. Okay. So this school name, or I can say the class variable, is being shared by S1 and S2. So this is class variable. Let's see what is the question. From the following, which variable is defined within a class outside any method with the static keyword? We have already seen this. Class variables are declared using the static keyword, shared among all objects of the class, stored in the method area, can be accessed using the class name. So the correct answer is class variable.